Hi, everyone. My name's Christian. Thank you for joining us today. We have a large number of attendees expected for the session. A few folks are still logging in now. We plan to get started in about 30 seconds. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in New Jersey. I hope everything is well with you. I'm joined by Austin. Austin, if you want to say hello.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, Christian, same here in Orlando. Sunny skies. It's great weather.
Excellent. And I'm joined by Sam as well. Sam, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, everyone from sunny Chandler, Arizona. Happy to be here.
Thank you. It's always sunny in Arizona. It looks like we are about ready to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then we can begin. How many of you are familiar with the term low code? It's only entered common usage in the past few years, but the future appears to be very bright. In fact, Gartner estimates that almost 2/3 of application development will be done using low-code platforms by 2024. In addition, Microsoft estimates that approximately 500 million low-code apps will be developed over the next 5 years. To put that in perspective, that's more than the total number of apps that have been developed to date. Today, we're going to talk to you about why this is such a big deal for you and your organization. First, welcome to the session. As I mentioned, we're focused on Microsoft's rapidly evolving Power Platform and how it offers a new approach to create your own apps, build interactive dashboards, automate key tasks, and resolve issues with virtual assistants. All of this can be done without complex coding, and all of it will be fully compliant with your corporate security and data protection standards. Now, let me introduce the team. Austin and Sam are partner development managers on the Tech Data Dynamics 365 team. Their main focus is to educate partners on the benefits of Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. They also serve as the main point of contact for Dynamics 365 partners, aiding them with cultivating their practice and assisting them with extending their Dynamics reach. Finally, I'm Christian, and I have over 20 years of experience in web, mobile, and marketing technologies. I've worked with some of the biggest, most respected brands in the world, deploying innovative programs to improve the customer experience and operational excellence. Just two more housekeeping points before we begin. There will be a question and answer session after the main presentation. You can ask questions at any time using the panel on the interface. All lines will be on mute during and after the session. Also, at the end of the session, you'll receive access to a survey to rate your experience today. We hope you take the time to fill it out. Thank you very much, and here we go. This webinar is presented by Core Competence and Tech Data. Core Competence is your total technology transformation partner, helping you engage your customers and prospects, enable your business, and accelerate your results. We solve business challenges and help our customers gain competitive advantage by maximizing their investment in leading technology platforms. We specialize in the Microsoft Power Platform and other best-in-class solutions. Tech Data connects the world with the power of technology. They are the largest Microsoft Dynamics distributor in North America with an end-to-end portfolio of products, services, and solutions, plus highly specialized skills and expertise in next-generation technologies. As the world's leading end-to-end technology distributor, Tech Data puts a singular focus on their customers' needs and goals with the objective of becoming a true strategic partner. They feature over 30 Microsoft certified professionals in platforms such as Azure, the Modern Workplace, Dynamics, and the Power Platform. As you can see, we have a packed agenda today. First, I'll cover some background material on why the Power Platform is becoming increasingly important and how it empowers organizations of all sizes. Then, Austin and Sam will introduce the platform itself in more detail. Up next are two demonstrations, one by Suresh on Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents, and then Murali will walk us through how to use Power BI. Afterwards, we'll cover the key takeaways and leave time for questions and answers. Now, let's get started. Everyone knows that traditional approaches to technology can be expensive, time-intensive, and frustrating, even to technology experts. Microsoft's Power Platform aims to change that by making best-in-class app development, analytics, and automation available to everyone, from large companies to small, experts to anyone willing to learn, empowering organizations to solve their unique business challenges, digitize their processes, and innovate for success. We call it democratizing technology, making it accessible to a broader number of users than ever before, and making it easier for everyone. Let's face it, every company has unmet technology needs. No matter your budget, the strength of your team, the depth of your partners, there's always something more that needs to be done. Whether you are struggling with repetitive tasks like copying and pasting data, you're processing data the old-fashioned way without a dedicated app, you lack insights into your business, or you work in a wide variety of disparate, unconnected platforms. The question becomes, how do you handle these needs? Do you pay for custom development? Do you customize enterprise software? Do you hire specialized resources? Or do you just continue muddling through the way you are now? This is where the Power Platform comes in. The Power Platform is a set of technologies designed to empower you to address your needs without the challenges of traditional software development. Austin and Sam are going to cover the platform in detail in a few minutes, but at a high level, the platform contains Power BI for analytics, Power Apps for app development, Power Automate for workflow automation, and Power Virtual Agents for real-time chat services. None of these tools require programming expertise, though they can be fully customized if needed. Instead, they use a combination of pre-built functionality and configuration settings in order to empower non-technical users to take charge of their technology future. They are all fully integrated together and connect to common data services along with hundreds of other applications from Microsoft and other leading providers, and they all include built-in artificial intelligence services. Why is the Power Platform becoming increasingly important to business of all sizes? We all know the traditional software development implementation process can be expensive, but there are also other challenges. The demand for mobile apps is far outpacing what current development methodologies can deliver. There are also resource shortages and other challenges, with almost 90% of organizations struggling to find the right technical talent. Power Apps and the Power Platform fundamentally change that dynamic. Low-code apps enable the developers to do more with less. That's why approximately 65% of app development will be low-code by 2024. The Power Platform does this by empowering end users known as citizen developers. A citizen developer is not a classically trained computer science major that writes code all day. Rather, citizen developers are business users that understand their processes and needs and have been trained on the Power Platform. This enables them to create applications, analytics with visualizations, and automation on their own without requiring a traditional developer, while still taking advantage of enterprise security protocols and best practices. The citizen developer enables you to rewrite the traditional software development process. Instead of begging for dollars from leadership, conducting a time-consuming search for a solution, selecting a vendor, spending a year or more implementing, and then waiting for the results, the citizen developer meets internally and identifies the need quickly, proposes a solution within days, and then builds it out within a month or two, without a costly procurement or development process. The cycle is reduced from 2 to 3 years to 2 to 3 months, without the need to keep spending more on new platforms, new development teams, etc. The Power Platform enables you to avoid all of these traditional challenges. Instead of expensive products requiring tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, the budget is modest and highly controlled. The time and resources required are also a fraction of the traditional approach. You can meet your business expectations in a few months rather than years. Eliminate cumbersome and complex offline processes to further optimize your organization and meet your customers' needs. You can also forge a true partnership with your IT department, where you are empowered and they are freed up to advance your organization's infrastructure and other goals. In addition, they'll be happy that you are complying with their security standards and you're not leaving them with any legacy software to maintain. This enables you to truly unlock the potential in your organization, increasing your agility and time to market, saving you money, improving your collaboration between teams and other internal processes, allowing you to generate more insights on your operations, financials, and other key metrics, and opening the door for even more innovation in the future. Now, I'm going to turn the floor over to Austin and Sam from Tech Data. They are going to walk you through the features and benefits of the platform before I demonstrate a sample app we've developed for the session. Thank you again for listening. Take it away, Austin and Sam.
Thanks, Christian, for the introduction. Really appreciate everybody taking the time. And today we will be introducing the Power Platform to you. We'll talk a little bit about some of the applications, how you can leverage the analytics, talk a little bit about automation, and more. So with that, let's dive right in. So I'm sure we've all heard of the Power Platform. Maybe we've heard about Power BI. Maybe we've heard of Power Automate or Microsoft Flow. Essentially, you know, the Power Platform, and I know we hear this term pretty often, but essentially it is a family of low-code, no-code tools that allow normal people, so those non-technical resources, the ability to develop applications, create flows for their teams and or customers. So there are 4 main applications associated with the Power Platform. You have Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. And all the data that is associated with these applications is going to be stored on Microsoft's Dataverse, aka Common Data Service, which sits on Microsoft Azure. And this is really great and really beneficial because all the data is going to be in one shared location. So there are no silos, and this is going to ultimately enable your organization to create seamless handoffs between what users are doing in-house online with what some of the users or teams are doing in the field. So first, we'll talk about Power Apps. Essentially, Power Apps is a suite of applications, services, and connectors that really provides an application development environment for you to build custom apps. This is going to really empower teams to start building and launching apps immediately by using pre-built templates built by Microsoft. Power Apps is a drag and drop software which allows for quick development, and if you needed to make changes in real time, you can do so as you go. This is really easy for, like I said before, non-technical resources or individuals to create applications. And this is actually going to provide those professional developers the tools to extend application capabilities by using Azure and those custom connectors that will allow you to connect to on-premise systems with some applications you're using in the cloud. The application design interface It's similar to what we're using today. A lot of us have used PowerPoint, a lot of us have used Excel. So the learning curve, it's not large, it's familiar, we know what it looks like, and we've used applications like this in the past. And it's a what you see is what you get experiences. So what you see during development, that's how it's going to look when it goes live. So it makes it a little bit easier to kind of pick and choose your options and what you want the application to do while you're creating it. Next up, we have Power Automate. So Power Automate is ultimately going to allow you to build workflows using a variety of pre-built connectors. Power Automate allows you to automate time-consuming manual tasks so that you have more time to focus on high-value opportunities and initiatives. Like I said, you have access to 300 plus connectors out there. In addition, you can also use robotic process automation, also known as RPA. So if your business does not have an available API to automate tasks, you can use one of those connectors that will connect, from your legacy system to your cloud-based applications. So I've mentioned connectors. Let's talk a little bit about those. Built-in connectivity to 300 plus cloud services, content services, databases, APIs, etc. These connectors allow for seamless hybrid connectivity to on-premise systems via the on-premise data gateway. You can develop and register custom connectors as a building block for those citizen developers. And these connectors are going to break down those silos by using multiple data sources in a single application. So in short, connectors really provide you a way to connect your accounts and leverage a set of pre-built actions and triggers. So for example, let's say you're an organization that is using Dynamics Nav, and you're also using Office 365 in the cloud. There's actually a connector out there that you can use for those two applications to communicate. And a really great thing about Microsoft is they offer a wide variety of connectors, and if there's not one out there that fits your needs, you can build one on your own. All right, moving to Power BI. Power BI, it really is just a sort of a reporting and dashboard application. You can create and personalize your own dashboards. Power BI integrates seamlessly with your existing applications and allows you to easily adopt analytics and reporting capabilities. So when you talk about using Power BI with Azure and Office 365, you can extract maximum value from your technology and your data. And because Power BI interoperates, with this Microsoft technology that we already know and we're already using, it allows you to use all your data productively. All right, moving on to Power Virtual Agents, last but definitely not least. Essentially, Power Virtual Agents is really going to allow you to create powerful chatbots that can talk to and answer questions posed by your customers, employees in your organization, or visitors that come to your website and or social media sites. The way Power Virtual Agents works is it's built on gears of artificial intelligence research, which uses something called natural language understanding. And this feature, the way Power Virtual Agents uses the language understanding is really cool, because when you talk to it, when you chat with Power Virtual Agents, it is going to respond more like a person than like a robot. So it focuses on what you mean versus what you are exactly typing. One really great thing about Power Virtual Agents is if you needed to monitor performance and see how the bot is performing, you can do so. If you need to make improvements or add content to the Power Virtual Agent over time, you can do so. So it's very editable, very easy to make adjustments as well. And when you're talking about things you can use it for, you can really use Power Virtual Agents for anything. You can use it with your Dynamics 365 customer service application, your Dynamics 365 sales application, human resources. You can use it on your website via Skype, Teams, Facebook, etc. Very easy to use, and there's a lot of different variables that you can use Power Virtual Agents for. Deployment is easy. You set it up, you click a button, and it's active and ready to go. One example is Core Competence. They use Power Virtual Agents. So they have a customer service sort of chatbot that they created for one of their customers, where they take customer service inquiries. So the way that Core Competence set this up for one of their customers is if a customer or a user is chatting with the chatbot and it is unable to completely resolve the problem or answer the question, that bot will actually transition them to a call with a live agent, which is seamless for the customer. And that's, ultimately what we want. We want these types of scenarios to be seamless for the end customer so that, they're happy. Last thing I'm going to talk about is Microsoft Dataverse. So we've talked about all the applications in the Power Platform. Now, all the data that is associated with those sits on Microsoft Dataverse. And if you aren't familiar, we're going to take a look at sort of what is inside of Microsoft's Dataverse. So the very first thing about Dataverse is it's an API first. So everything you do creates an API. And these APIs are the same ones that are consumed by your Power Apps, Power Automate, AI Builder, and Power BI. Immediately below the API, we have a rich layer of security, ensuring that the right people can see the right data. So one key feature of Dataverse is the security, in that it can adapt to various business usage scenarios. So you can set security barriers that are role-based for a specific unit or team. You can set security at the record level, so you can control who can access and see certain records and documents. And if you want a more granular control, you can do so at the field level as well. So lots of different roles and ways you can sort of lock down your data. So from there, we get to our logic layer, where you can implement custom business logic across your organization. Okay, so because this logic is below the API, this ensures consistent business logic across all your applications that are accessing your data. Now, since we're talking about data, that's what is at the heart of Dataverse, the data tier. So this is going to allow you to define the structure of your complex business data without having to write code. So this goes back to the low code, no code term that we continue to use, and that rolls over into Dataverse. And then behind the scenes, we're putting your data in the right place. Microsoft is using the optimal storage services provided by Azure, and this is going to allow you to seamlessly support practically any type of data, really, from relational data to log data to file data. It's all in one place, so it's easy to search for, and like I said before, it breaks down those silos. And finally, no sort of data lives alone. It must be integrated with your other systems, and Microsoft does a great way of providing a way for you to integrate Dataverse with external systems, from eventing, webhooks, and also to data export as well. So that being said, my time's up. Sam, I'm going to go ahead and pass the rock over to you and let you take it away.
Thanks, Austin. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Power Apps and give you some use case scenarios, some success stories, and then we're going to talk a little bit about AI Builder as well. So before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about low code and no code and why it is so important. The low code, no code approach spans across your organization, whether you have professional developers on staff already, or if you don't and you just have citizen developers or a combination of both, they're all going to be empowered, and you're going to do two things that are important to every business. You're going to save time and you're going to save money, because with the low code, no code approach, it takes people who normally would have submitted a request to have an application developed, and then that would have gone on to someone in IT who hires someone to come in and produce that application at $200 an hour plus. And now they're just going to create that application themselves rather than go through all of that. So you're saving an incredible amount of time, and the application is being produced much quicker at a greater cost savings. Now, even if you have professional developers on staff, they're still going to have a much shorter path to completion. of that application. And the professional developers, they're probably going to be producing what we call a model-driven app. They might be creating Canvas apps also, which is something more common with citizen developers, as we call them. But they can make both, and whichever they're working on, the time to completion is greatly reduced, and so your company is going to realize the power of that application in a much shorter time frame at a much less cost, much lower cost of production, and you're going to realize those benefits. So here's a few examples. There are so many. Site inspection. Just gives you a tip of the iceberg view of some of the application ideas, and it's really the only limit is your imagination. My expenses, a lot of companies have issues with submitting expense reports. You can just create your own custom tailored My Expenses report. Budget tracker, onboarding tasks, maybe if you want to standardize onboarding tasks and make those role-based, that's a very easy application to develop. Here's a few more. I mean, we could go on for 100 slides like this, but to-do list, that's a very simple one. You can asset checkout. All organizations have products that they need to keep track of who's got it, where it is. Do we need to order more? That's a handy application for that type of need. Out of office. A good one that's really simple that I like is Employee Finder. Now, everyone knows you can search for an employee by name in your Outlook directory if you need to get in touch with someone. But what if you don't know their name? What if you just need to get in touch with someone who has a particular skill set? You're not even sure what that role's title is, and you need to search them out. You can create an employee search tool that you can type in keywords, and it's going to direct you towards all of the possible people that might fit that role description, and that's going to improve productivity. So very simple to produce and very effective for making your organization more streamlined and automated. So let's talk a little bit about artificial intelligence. AI Builder is a Microsoft Power Platform capability that provides AI models that are designed to optimize your business processes. So you can use it to automate processes. You can also use it to glean insights from your data. AI Builder is a turnkey solution. So this is what we're talking about when we say low code, no code. It brings the power of AI through a point and click experience. You don't need coding or data science skills to access the power of AI when you're using AI Builder. With AI Builder, you can build custom models tailored to your very specific business needs, or you can choose one of the many pre-built models that are ready to use out of the box that address many common business case scenarios. So there are a number of pre-built and custom models. One example would be key phrase extraction model. So this is where the AI Builder captures key phrases from customer feedback or reviews. So in the world of Yelp and Amazon reviews that we all live in, this can be very useful. You can use the AI Builder to scrape all of those reviews for relevant information and surface that in a Power BI report, and it's going to give you a very real-time view of what your customer sentiment is and areas that you can act. Another model would be a prediction model. So AI Builder prediction models analyze patterns in your historical data and then use them to predict future outcomes. This is very useful in a number of ways. One would be, is this transaction likely to be fraudulent? Is a customer a good candidate for a marketing campaign? Is an account likely to pay their invoices on time? Will a shipment arrive early or on time or late? Which product would a customer be interested in? These are all questions that can be answered using a prediction model. And that's just a few examples of how prediction model in the AI Builder can help businesses make better decisions. Another pre-built model is object detection. So this is pretty cool. In retail, you can use it to streamline inventory management. In manufacturing, technicians can use it to speed up their repair process by quickly accessing the manual for a piece of machinery, which, a UPC or serial number isn't immediately obvious. It's also very handy for field technicians that need a part number and they just have the part and they don't know whether it's in inventory. They can use the object detection model, snap a picture of it, and real time it's going to tell them, do we have this in stock? Is it on order? How quickly can I get it out to my client site and complete this repair? So these are just a few examples, but it gives you an idea of the unlimited potential of AI Builder in the Power Platform. So Power Apps for project management is an example of a model-driven app, and you can see how much more detail would be included on this than, say, a to-do list app. This one is more form factor fitted for a PC environment rather than a tablet or phone. And you've got a lot of really granular data you can drill down into. You can custom build this to fit the processes that your organization leverages in your project management and drill into each stage. You can color code it. You can see where things currently stand and really hone in on the specific task that you're trying to accomplish and make the application fit your process rather than the other way around where you're buying an off-the-shelf product and trying to make your process fit that application. This way makes a lot more sense. So one of the benefits of the Power Platform is there are some very robust products that are built on top of it. And rather than, as I said, make your organization fit the application, you're going to make the application, you're going to make the application fit your organization rather than the other way around. So since the Dynamics products are all built on the Power Platform, you can customize those products once you have them. So you can leverage the functionalities that are already out of the box that suit your business model. But if there are things that you want to tailor more specifically to your organization, you can now use the Power Platform, Power Apps, Power Automate to make those fit what you're trying to accomplish. And that makes these things so much easier to work with and custom tailor to your organization rather than hiring outside expertise and data developers to come in and $200 plus an hour to do that work for you. Now you can do it. So a great example of a success story is the American Red Cross. They got started, they sort of tiptoed into the process. They had one trainer that in one of their locations that was having problems with their product ordering when they needed supplies in the field. It was sort of a convoluted process and a lot of paperwork and submitting. And he created a very simple app using Power Apps and streamlined that process for ordering products. And since then, he's been promoted to a national position. And now all the trainers, are using the application he developed, and multiple people within the organization are all creating applications to suit specific business needs. And so they've really gone and taken it to great extents, creating multiple applications to empower the Red Cross to deliver the services that people across America and around the world need. So you don't have to have a great commitment to Power Apps if you want to get started with it and give it a try. The only thing you need to do is go to Google or Bing and search for Power Apps Community Plan. And there you can have a free environment that anyone can leverage and start utilizing these tools and get familiar with them. And it's a great way to get started and learn about the Power Apps and the Power Apps platform. And with that, we are now going to move over to the demonstration portion of today's webinar. Christian, take it away.
Thank you, Austin and Sam. There was a lot of valuable information packed into those slides. Next, I'd like to introduce Suresh to demonstrate Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. And then Morali will take us through Power BI. Please note, for speed and clarity, these demonstrations were recorded over the weekend.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this demonstration of a Power App designed using the Microsoft Power Platform. We have created a demo Power App of a sales order workflow, which also introduces you to the OCR, optical character recognition, that we have generated using Azure AI. So this is the flow of the demo, the one that you're seeing on front of your screen. It starts with the customer sending an email to your company with their purchase order attached. So we've used G Suite as the email application. You can use any email application. And also we have used Google Storage. You could use OneDrive also. Next comes the main part of this demo, the Power Automate. I will introduce you to a flow, to the concept of flow, which has the business logic to consume the emails and extract data. Then we will show you the Power App, where we will manage status, store the transactions, and also provide reporting. We will end with an introduction to Power Virtual Agent, which is like a chat-like application where you can approve a transaction. Let's get started. It all starts with the composition of an email. We are sending an email to an account that we have configured with this application. Then comes the subject. Please take note of the subject. We'll be referring this later in the demo. Then comes the contents of the email. So the contents of the email will be processed by the Power Automate Flow backend, which I'll talk about more. So this is the purchase order we'll be sending. The purchase order number, the date, and the amount, the main ingredients of any purchase order. So we will be extracting this information using Power Platform building blocks. So we are attaching the purchase order to the email and send. Then starts the most interesting part of the whole idea. So here, what you see on the screen is the Power Automate flow. Flow is nothing but a series of business steps created using the building blocks provided by the Microsoft Power Platform. So the flow starts working as soon as it sees that a new email has arrived. That's where you see this series of flow history that it has done in the past. We have used AI Builder as part of this demo, and we have trained the AI Builder using models like a regular AI application. So this AI Builder is part of the Microsoft Power Platform. So we have used this in this demo, and we have used other entities also. The one you see, the data entities, comes with the Power Platform. So we have used all this in combination with the Power Automate flow to create a successful Power App application easily. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of the Power Automate flow. So as I mentioned, it's nothing but a series of business steps broken down into series of business steps built using the building blocks provided by Microsoft Power Platform. So the first step is create a location for the file that's received along with the email, process the information in the file that's attached in the email. So after extracting all the details that are part of the sales order, we will create a record to access it later. So this is a regular processing that you see in all sales order or any business process application that involves a workflow. So we get the email, we process the attachment or any other information as part of the email, create these different steps that we have instructed the Power Automate Flow application to do. and then save the information. This can be built very easily using the building blocks provided by the Microsoft Power Automate platform. So as I mentioned, we are processing and saving the record using the building blocks. That's what you see here. So after it is saved, it will show for the user in a UI created in the Power Apps as a Power App. That's what you see right here. So all new incoming emails will be saved to a default queue, which is nothing but a collection. So if you see the highlighted entry here, this is a new email that we received. The status of the transaction is open. And that's the document ID, which we saw a few minutes back as part of the PDF. So document ID, due date, and total amount. All these have been extracted from the PDF using Azure AI, which is one of the building blocks provided by the Power Platform. So here you see the different details of the document that we just extracted. So the document ID, the amount, the subject of the email, and the queue. So in addition to the default queue, we have also created a good number of other queues. One of them, please take note, is the approved queue. So what happens after we approve this transaction, it will be moved to the other queue, which we have built into this application. So Power Apps, as you can see, provides us an ability to create graphs out of the box. These are easily configurable graphs. You can expand the graph too if you need for a better view. So these graphs come out of the box as part of the platform. They can be easily built, easily configured. So you can get into, once you highlight, you can see the details of the different entries in the graph out of the box. So as I mentioned, we have used different building blocks for creating this demo. So one of the AI builder, which is used to extract the details of the PDF that is attached to the email. So as you can see, there are other building blocks too. The next one we have used here is called the chatbot, which is another name for the Power Virtual Agent. So we have used this to create an intuitive user interface for approving a transaction that's part of the default queue. So what we have done is, let's go into the automated workflow, which is the our implementation of the Power Virtual Agent. So I highlighted the Power Virtual Agent here. So it's like a chat-like interface where we can interact with the application and get the transaction approved. So I type document here. So the chat or the virtual agent will reply whether you want the document details or to approve. So I select approve. So to approve, the virtual agent needs the document ID, which I will be providing right now. So once the virtual agent gets to know the document ID that we are interested in, it will run the background flow that we have built and it will approve the document. So all this happens in a very intuitive manner, easily understandable manner here. And let us go back to the Power App, and you can see that because we are approved this particular transaction, it has moved out of the default queue and it has moved into the approved queue. As you can see, the last transaction, see the status has been moved to approved, the document ID for reference. So this we have done. This is possible to build this in a very intuitive manner using the building blocks provided by the Microsoft Power Platform. That is the beauty of the platform. So as demonstrated here, the power or the potential is limitless. Here we have shown you only PDF transaction, but the building blocks provided allow us to use a lot more backend material to be integrated easily. So there's a lot of connectors that you can use out of the box based on your business needs. And for example, here you can see Excel, for example, very common Excel connector. There are a lot of other connectors that you can use with your application and easily integrate. So the power is limitless. So Dynamics can be integrated, Nav, even DocuSign. So using these different building blocks, group of people called citizen developers can generate a lot of new applications for dynamic business environments. That is the beauty of the Power Platform. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you, Suresh, for the wonderful demo on Power Apps, Power Automate, and the virtual agent. Hello, everyone. I'm Murli. I'm going to take you through the journey from raw data to valuable intelligence using Power BI. Power BI is an important application within the Power Platform. It helps you to unify data from multiple sources and create immersive and interactive dashboards and reports to accelerate and drive your business results and efficiency across the organization. Following is a process of converting data to intelligence. First, you connect your data, and then you transform and load it. And then you model your data by joining the information between dimensions and facts. And then you create the charts and graphs and maps to visualize, analyze, and explore your data. Let me jump into the application where you can get the data. You select the tables you need, where you'll be able to see the preview of the data, and then you load them. Once they are loaded, you'll be able to preview them in the data model space. So once the data is loaded, you'll be able to see the relationship among the fact tables and the dimension tables. And then from here, we can start our visualization process. So here, let me show you how to create a sample chart. I'm clicking a donut chart. We can resize it. And then in order to bring the values to the chart, we need to put the fields over here. So I'm selecting the net sales field and dragging it to the values. And then I add the company as a filter or a slicer for getting the breakdown. See, we got the chart here. So this way, you'll be able to build all kinds of visualization using your categorical data or continuous data, such as sales and costs, and even geospatial data. You'll be able to do this. So let me switch to a report or a dashboard, which I created using these charts. This is what you see here. So I've built all these charts using the visualization tools available within the Power BI tool set. Okay. So you have tree maps, you have bar charts and comparison charts, and you'll be able to have stacked charts where you'll be able to see figures across multiple years within the same bar across multiple items in this case. So multi-dimension analysis and drill down is possible within Power BI charts. We have slicers, which are used as your filters. Suppose I want to analyze my sales for only e-commerce. Then I will have the e-commerce details here. So I want to do only for medium retailer, for example. Then all my charts will reflect the medium retailer related data. So you'll be able to apply multiple filters to each and every chart of yours. For example, only car video I want to update. Then I will see only the car video related sales here, and then the subgroups within that. And then the last step is to publish the data, the report itself. So in order to publish, you click the publish button. Once you click the publish button, you will see them in the website, powerbi.com. For whatever user you have access to, you'll be able to view them and you share them across your colleagues or external parties as required. So this way, you'll be able to use the Power BI tools together with Azure and Power Apps platform to increase efficiency and efficient decisions across your organization. There's more to learn in the future sessions. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Murali and Suresh, for a demonstration of the platform. I know we've covered a lot of ground today, and we are just about to get into the question and answer section. First, a few key takeaways. The Power Platform democratizes technology by making next generation capabilities easy for organizations of all sizes. The citizen developer is critical to taking advantage of these tools, enabling you to alleviate the challenges of traditional development at a fraction of the cost. Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Virtual Agents are all both easy and fun to use. They are supported by the Dataverse, connecting and securing information across the platform, other Microsoft technologies, and even third-party tools with hundreds of connectors. You can get started easily, and there is a free trial available, or of course, we would be happy to walk you through it and schedule a more in-depth demonstration. As a reminder, you can ask a question using the panel on the right. Also, there will be a short survey after the session. Your feedback is very important to us. Please take a few minutes to fill it out if you can. I'm going to go check the question panel now. It looks like we have a few questions coming in. First question, what are the top use cases for Power Apps in the nonprofit industry?
I can take that one, Christian.
Great, thank you, Sam.
Yeah, I think the whole point of the Power Apps, the great thing about it is that you can use it for your specific needs, whatever those are, whether you're a nonprofit or for-profit. So there aren't any, number one specific, ideal use case scenarios. It's really, you're going to conform the application to fit whatever business needs you have. I mean, that could be something like creating a Power Apps portal to capture donor data at a fund drive event, or scheduling and recruiting your volunteer resources. Whatever your organization has a need for, you can use it to create and customize an application for that.
Great, thank you, Sam. Up next, we have another question coming in. This one, great question. How do you identify a need for a Power App?
I'll go ahead and take that one, Christian. That is a great question. And this sort of piggybacks on what Sam just said. How do you identify a need for a Power App? If you're a non-technical individual and you need software that allows you to easily develop apps, you can leverage Power Apps. If you need a mobile application, you can use Power Apps for that too. If you need more control over the security of your data and application, Microsoft makes this easy via Azure Active Directory domain service. And then if you're an organization who is utilizing data from more than one source, you can use those connectors and those data gateways and APIs to connect to your data, or you can just move to the cloud in general and leverage Dataverse for that one shared location to pull that data from. So a lot of different variables. It's really up to your specific business need.
Thank you, Austin. Sorry if I've been looking down. We just have a lot of questions coming in, and I want to make sure we can get to them all. Here's an important one. How are Power Apps licensed, and do all users need a license?
I can get that one, Christian. So great question. And all internal users do need some type of license to access this information and leverage the applications. External users do not. There are consumption-based SKUs that related to Power Apps and Power Automate especially if you're talking about the portal. But you can connect with your advisor at Core Competence if you have questions about that. But it's all very affordable. Everyone within the organization does require a Power Apps, and they have two great SKUs that make it very easy and affordable. So the one is the per app SKU, if you're talking about Power Apps, and that gives you access to 2 applications if you just want to create a couple. And then there's an unlimited SKU that's called the per user SKU, and you would use that and give you unlimited ability to create apps, and it's a little bit more expensive, but still very affordable.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I got a question coming in. I will take this question. It's very specific, but an excellent question about the connectors. The gentleman writes, I see Salesforce as an option for a connector, but we've been told by them, which I'm assuming is Salesforce, that they no longer support integration with Dynamics 365. Any insights on that? That question is very specific. I'm going to do my best to answer it in a bit of a general way, and then I'm happy to discuss it longer offline. I believe what Salesforce is saying there is that Salesforce itself will not support the connector. That is pretty typical for their position on any third-party app installed on the Salesforce platform. Salesforce will support the software that they create. The connector itself is actually built, I believe, by a third party or even by Microsoft. So you are going to need to get the support from your partner. At the same time, I think anyone that's worked in Salesforce in depth that should know that a lot of these connectors don't work as easily as they seem on the surface. There can be limitations. So my recommendation would be to operate under the assumption that yes, a connection between Salesforce and the Power Platform is achievable. We've seen it, we've done it, but like simply connecting Salesforce to Pardot or Salesforce to the Marketing Cloud or the Commerce Cloud, there could be some intricacies involved, and it is better to speak to a partner before you go too far down that line. As I said, we're happy to organize a call and provide some insight on the issue as well. Hope that helps. I know it's a little vague, but hopefully we can get a little more in depth down the line. Next question here coming in from a woman in Ohio. How do I know a process can be automated using Power Automate?
I can take that one, Christian.
Thank you.
For the first step, I think you should just go to flow.microsoft.com and search to see if there's a pre-built template or an API that's been built already. So for example, if you needed or you're interested in receiving a text message when a new task is created in CRM, you can go to flow.microsoft.com, type that in, and most likely there's going to be a connector out there for you. If there's not a pre-built template, you can always check the data source list to see if what you're trying to connect to is available. There are tons and tons of things that it connects to: Dynamics 365, SharePoint, Facebook, MailChimp, things like that. So if it isn't available, you can create your own. If you're not really sure where to go after that, sure, reach out to Core Competence, and they'll be able to advise on the best next steps for that.
Thank you. Awesome. We have another question coming in. These are interesting questions today. Again, pretty specific. Can Power BI be used to collect analytics on platforms like a public website? Similar to the answer regarding Salesforce, yes, it can be done. If you're using Google Analytics or another platform, you can connect that data to Power BI and then visualize it. It's pretty common to do it if you're trying to conduct studies of your return on marketing investment or determining exact conversion rates and return on investment for e-commerce. At the same time, there are some complexities in ensuring that the Google Analytics data is consumed properly. It's something that we would have expertise in and would be happy to take a closer look at. Another good question that just came in, low code, what code skills are needed to complete a project? This is from a gentleman in New Jersey. I can take that one. It's a mix. There's a couple of different ways to look at this. Low-code platforms function in ways that are similar to everyone experienced with configuring a Salesforce CRM or working as an experienced user in a content management system would be. There's a set of pre-built tools that you can literally drag and drop. There's form builders to capture information. There's workflow builders to process that information. So for simple to moderately complex initiatives, there's no need to code. The same way you would use a form builder on a WordPress plugin, the form builder works similarly within Power Apps. That being said, because Power Apps is a platform, there are certain things that a developer can code on top of these tools. Again, for anyone familiar to content management or customizing Salesforce, you can build out custom modules if you are a developer and expand the functionality. Each use case, of course, is going to be quite a bit different. There are extensions of the functionality of Power Apps available, just like there are for WordPress and other platforms, but the actual decision your organization will make is specific to the use case. I hope that answers the question. Any other questions coming in? It looks like we have one more. This is another tough one here, keeping us on our toes today. What tool would you recommend using first in the manufacturing industry? I could take this one as well. I think, we're constantly getting back to the point here where each organization's needs are specific. And each organization's digital transformation maturity is going to be unique to their growth and development as a company. What's so attractive about Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power BI is the flexibility they give you to adapt to certain areas, the areas of need for that specific organization. So for example, in the manufacturing industry, some of our customers are having challenges receiving orders via email, via PDF, receiving purchase orders that way, as you saw in the demo for Suresh. In that case, that would be something that I would recommend zoning in on first, using Power Apps and Power Automate. However, just had a great conversation yesterday with another company. Their challenge is on tracking the quality management side of things. They don't have a dedicated quality management system. So in that case, our recommendation is to pursue Power Apps first to build out the customized quality management tools that are needed for the organization. So it really depends upon what business challenge you're trying to solve. If it's a reporting or analytics challenge, you're likely to use Power BI or Power Apps. Sometimes there's trouble collecting the data, period. If it's an automation challenge, you're likely to use Power Automate or Power Virtual Agent, sometimes in collaboration with Power Apps. Great. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I don't think we have any additional questions coming in. I really do appreciate all of your time today. Thank you for joining Core Competence and Tech Data for the People's Innovation Platform. As I mentioned, a survey will be delivered after the webinar. I hope everyone has a great afternoon, and feel free to contact us at any time if you have any additional questions. Thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.